Baylor Wilson is a singer-songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee. Growing up, she participated in competitive cheerleading, but also taught herself how to play guitar in order to cope with family struggles. While cheerleading didn't pan out, she pursued music and moved to Nashville for college. During her college years, she received the opportunity to be on the television show Survivor. Upon the show's completion, she had her music career on track and secured a publishing deal. However, an invitation to a night of worship would change Baylor's life and career forever. Please welcome Baylor Wilson.
Hi, welcome. So great to have you in the house today, all the way from Nashville.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your story. You've got a really interesting backstory where you were on the Survivor and you're a country music singer. We heard a little bit of it in the intro, but tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so I grew up in Dallas, Texas with a cheer coach as a mom. She was a single mom and she needed a job, so she opened up a cheerleading business. And I was flipping and tumbling and stunting at the age of 5 years old because I was bored, honestly. And so I'm flipping in this gym and I'm so grateful I did that because it kept me busy and kept me out of trouble and also taught me tons of discipline in the sport of cheerleading, which led me into singing because in high school, my family was kind of falling apart and I needed something to get all the feelings out, the angst. So I picked up a guitar and started teaching myself music, songs, and then that led into songwriting, and which led me to meet the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Anyone know who that is? Yeah.
Oh man, really? I've never heard of that band, but a lot of people seem to know them. That's
you
great.
You and me go fishing in the dark. Anybody? All right. So yeah, I met Jeff Hanna, the lead singer, by happenstance, but really it was Jesus sovereignly planning my whole life out. And he told me to move to Nashville. So yeah, I moved to Nashville.
That's what happened. Oh, great.
And that's how I got there. And then I went to Belmont University and somehow ended up on the show Survivor, which is crazy. I'm so thankful for that. And all throughout that time, I was looking for Jesus. I just didn't know exactly where to find him until he found me.
Now, I know you said that you sort of had the label of a Christian. A lot of people do, it becomes like my nationality is American, my religion is Christian.
Right.
But there's a difference between that and having a real radical, personal, ongoing relationship in the Spirit.
Yeah.
And how did that happen? And that actually ended up shifting you from country into being a worship leader.
Yeah.
So tell us that story.
Yeah, it was a big shift. I was a year out of college, living in Nashville, trying to make it in country music. And I was miserable, honestly. And I didn't really tell anyone that. I kind of lived like a positive poly thing on the outside. A friend of mine invited me to a worship night, and I was like, okay, I'll show up. Why not? And I showed up to the address she sent me, which I thought would be a church. It was an auto body car shop. God
Cool.
can move anywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I remember walking in and thinking, what denomination is this? But I walked in, and what I experienced was the tangible presence of God, his holiness. The worship in the room was just acoustic and voices. And it was enough power and presence for me for my entire life to change. I repented, turned my life to Christ, went back to my country music friends and co-writers and was like, hey y'all, I just want to write Jesus songs, I don't know. And they thought I was a little crazy, but it was amazing. And then they said, what happened to you, Baylor? And before I knew the Christian-y thing to say, I said, Jesus happened.
Yeah.
So.
Now, that actually is the song you're going to sing here in just a minute. I got to hear it in the first service, a wonderful song. And that's how you came up with the title, then it's from that. This phrase just came out of you like, Jesus happened, like it's this life event.
Yeah, huge life event, and it was all I could say because I literally didn't fully understand yet at that time. I remember thinking, I don't know, but I have different desires, dreams, hopes, and I'm in love with Jesus.
Yeah.
This invisible God that's incredible and died for my sins. And yeah, people thought I was a little crazy, but then the Lord has led me into this beautiful community now, and obviously now singing Christian music, and I'm so grateful.
I love that as a musician, it wasn't the sermon, but it was really, I mean, maybe the sermon helped, but the part you mentioned was the music, that it was the worship service that really drew you to God. I had experience like that when I gave my life to Christ, also worship. Is that a big part for you being a worship leader? You understand that, like, man, people really get a sermon when you're singing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think music is like the saying says, a universal language. And so there's this beautiful power behind melody. I mean, David was a worship leader.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we all are in our own ways, whether we can sing or not, it doesn't matter. He loves our worship. And so if you're genuinely worshiping from your heart to his, the presence of God will come. And that's what was happening, is they had set the atmosphere for salvation for me.
What's a sort of sermon in a way you're singing or preaching about a lot? I mean, a lot of people are going through tough times right now. There's a lot of fear about the ongoing crisis in Ukraine. We're still on the tail end of, hopefully, of COVID and all of that stuff, but you never know. And then, you know, there's all the stuff, and then all the personal stuff that comes with that. People are going through tough times, Christians too. I'm sure you've gone through tough times.
Yeah.
What kind of word is God putting on your heart in this season of your life for people, you know, that are going through trials?
Yeah, for me, honestly, the personal word that I keep flipping to in the Bible and hearing in my spirit is return. Return to your first love. Return to him, to your, maybe your Jesus happened moment, or if you've never had one, come for the first time.
Yeah.
Return to him, because he's coming back. And it's really exciting, and that's what keeps me moving forward, is that this is not our home, that we get to live with Jesus one day. And yeah, this is a really tough time, and this is a very dark world we live in, which is exciting that we don't have to live here forever.
Yeah, amen. And that is a great word, to return, to and even to remember, right? I'm talking about that today, this idea of returning. I love it.
Yeah.
Of coming back from exile like Babylon or Egypt, the freedom that God brings. The Spirit of the Lord, there's freedom, and you want that for people.
Yes.
It's a good word.
Absolutely.
Well, if you want to know more about her music, check out Baylor Wilson at baylorwilson.com. You can probably get it on like iTunes and stuff too, and Spotify and all that.
Spotify,
Yeah, great.
All of it.
Baylor Wilson, thank you so much. Thanks for leading us in worship. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
God bless you.